This back to school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. I remember when my sister begged for the shiniest backpack guaranteed to spark success. Pricey, and it was gone by October. Skip the splurge. Amazon's back to school hub has notebooks, pens, even goal-setting journals at wallet-friendly prices and fast delivery, so you can focus on chasing bigger dreams. So remember, with Amazon's low back-to-school prices, just spend less on your kids, because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them.
Hey Dream Drivers, have you guys ever felt guilty because you weren't grinding as hard as you thought you should? Or maybe you're forcing yourself to hustle when your mind and your body are just begging you to slow down. Now, what if I told you both are okay? Because your dream has seasons just like life does, okay? Just like life does. And in this episode, I want to talk to y'all about learning to honor the season you're in, whether it's a season of pushing, pausing, planting, or harvesting. Because when you get this, like when you understand it's okay, you're going to stop feeling behind. And that feeling of behind is what is really killing the soul of so many of us dream drivers. So please hop in, get in the passenger seat. Let's go for a ride. And I'm excited to be talking to you guys about this. But before we get into today's episode in full, make sure you're following us on social. We are Dreams in Drive across the board on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the social medias. And you can also join our email newsletter, dreamsandrive.com/join to sign up. That's dreamsandrive.com/join to sign up. All right, so let's talk about this. Number one, your dream has seasons. So if we're real, guys, social media makes it look like everyone's always in the season of winning, right? Like you see people launching things, you see people selling out of things, you see people like planning the big vacations, the big dreams are happening, they're being booked, they're getting all this great press. But the truth is, honestly, social media is just the highlight reel. So many of us are not seeing what's going on behind the scenes for a lot of these people on social media. So I like to think about this, and when we think about our own lives, of our dreams having seasons. So number one, you have a planting season, right? Where you're learning, you're building skills, you're making connections that might not pay off immediately. And then you have a growing season when you're doing the hard, often invisible work. You're refining your offer, you're getting your reps in, like you're just doing things behind the scene that nobody can really see, but it's still happening. And the growing season isn't always like going to be perfect. And then you have a harvest season where the opportunities are just coming in, things are popping, you're making a lot of money, doors are swinging open left and right? And then there's another season as well that's equally as important, just as important as a planting season, just as important as a growing season, just as important as a harvest season, and that is a rest season where you're recalibrating and you're maybe even healing. And I want to really talk about the healing part because it's something that I can definitely resonate with right now. All of these seasons are critical. And the thing is, you cannot expect to harvest all year round. Even the ground needs to lay fallow. That means basically like sometimes, farmers will tell you they might rotate crops, meaning, or they rotate. I am no farmer, but I know the idea of like rotating where you're planting some season to season. Sometimes like you can't always be trying to plant in the same soil and expecting the same results. So the thing about this for a lot of us is that we need to know when to push. As dream drivers, we often ask ourselves, so how do you know it's time to push? I think for a lot of us, knowing when to push is when these things are happening. You have very distinct clarity on your next step. You have the energy that feels expansive, like you just know that it's bountiful. You know that you have that in you to give. Or you might have resources or doors that are opening and you feel that nudge to move, right? These are all good signs that, yes, push through it. You got what you're doing. It might be tough. And pushing doesn't mean burning out, though. It means being willing to stretch, like doubling down on whatever it is that you want to launch. Maybe it's pitching yourself 5 times more than usual for a new job, personal brand, whatever that is. Or staying up late for a season and get that podcast up, right? Like these are things that are okay to be pushed pushing in that pushing season, but you're not burning out. So here's a quick story for me. Like, I remember when I started Dreams and Drive, I was working a 9 to 5, and I had to really find out time to carve out after work, before work, on the weekends. It was this push season, but I had the energy to give, and I felt like I was being renewed while I was pushing, and that was a key thing. And I knew that if I didn't give it energy then, it might not happen. So sometimes another key thing about these seasons that we're in is the momentum. But here's the big thing. Number 3 is you have to know when to pause. So although we have this pushing season, there's going to be this rest season, like I talked before. The hard part, though, is knowing when to pause. And a pause, like I said, doesn't mean quitting. It means you're giving yourself some time, some space to regroup, to recover, and to gain new clarity.
This back-to-school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. Dream Drivers, let's talk smart money moves. One year, my cousin insisted on a designer binder that cost more than my LLC filing fee, then left it on the bus. Had I checked Amazon first, I'd have scored the same vibe for less, plus everything else in one cart. Their back-to-school storefront lets you filter by grade, color, or budget. Reviews steer you clear of duds, and fast shipping gets it to you before your next brainstorming session. Save cash, save time, fuel the hustle. So remember, with Amazon's low back-to-school prices, just spend less on your kids, because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them.
And for example, there's been 2 really big rest seasons for me as of late. Well, a big one is honestly for the past 5 years, I feel like I've been in this kind of pause, slow down, neutral, reverse even season of being a mom. Being a mom to 2 young children, almost 5 and an almost 2-year-old, is life-changing. It's traumatizing, but at the same time, filled with joy. It's sadness, happiness. Like, there's all these feelings, but I just know that I am not the same Raina that I was before January 2020. That's when I found out I was pregnant. Like, I'm not the same person, and I've had to be in this new season, a new rhythm, so many changes, and I really haven't felt like I ever got back to that full Zoom, and I've had to really redefine what that means for me, and I had to be okay with knowing, like, this is a season in my life, and it's a chapter in my book that I need to write for myself. And I say that because I think sometimes we go through these seasons and we don't want to write these chapters, like we don't want to experience what it is that we have to experience. But my kids being young only happens once, and I know for sure that if I were 100% on push, I would not be the type of mother that I want to be. And for me, that's something I value. And so you might know when you need to pause when you feel burnt out. So that's the thing we're talking about. Like, burning out is a sign of you needing pause. When you feel like your creativity is just like low, and we know being creative is really part of the Dream Driver experience. Life circumstances demand your attention. So like for me, another big pause for me was like my father dying. He died November 2024, and my life has not been the same since. I've been trying to figure out, what does this new Raina look like? My whole view, my change of the world. I was just talking to one of my friends, and I feel like when you lose a parent, especially one that you're close to, like, you kind of have this spiritual awakening and you just see the world through a different lens. So I've been dealing with that, and it's okay. And I think another time when you know you need to pause is when you've outgrown your original dream and need to reimagine it. And even with Dreams and Drive, I think when I first started it, I had this vigor for something, and I'm trying to figure out, like, what is that? What is it now? Almost 10 years later, what is it now? And give yourself this mini reframe, guys. Like, pausing is actually a power move. Pausing is actually a power move. When you think of like professional athletes, they have off seasons. They're not working out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's just not sustainable. It's not because they're weak. It's because it makes them stronger for the next run. So taking that time to pause, to lay low, to recalibrate is actually setting you up for success in the future, guys. And here's the biggest thing is giving yourself permission to pause, giving yourself permission, being okay with it. I think for a lot of us too is like maybe you have to plan for a pause. Maybe you have to say, all right, I know I can't go hard right now in this area, but in order to pause, I might need to do XX. And like you're making a plan so that you have a peaceful pause. That's something that I definitely support if anybody really, cannot just afford to just press pause because there's other things or other people that are really depending on them. You might have to plan for that, and that's okay. So maybe today you're in the season of pushing, or maybe you're meant to be pausing and planting. Whatever it is, I want you guys to just sit back and honor that. It is not easy, though, to honor it. But I do want to let you know that ignoring the season you're in is going to lead you to frustration. It's going to lead you to burnout, self-judgment. But when you lean into it, that's when you're actually going to start flowing with your dream instead of forcing it. I think, I had to tell myself, like, this is only for a season. This is only for a season. Things will get better. Things will change. I will change. I will get better. Like, you have to affirm yourself throughout this whole journey because it's so, so important, guys. It's so, so important. So trust me, your dream will still be there when you're ready to pick up the pace again. And I didn't say quit. There's nowhere here where I said quit. I said pause. And I think that delineation between pausing and quitting is the thing that's going to keep your brain going and also help you accept it. So here's what I want you guys to do right now. Here's a quick challenge that I have for you is I want you to ask yourself right now, what season am I in? Are you in a planting season? Are you in a growing season, a harvest season, or a rest season? Ask yourself. And if it's a season of push, pick one goal to give that energy to this month. One goal. If there's something you're trying to push towards, give yourself one tiny goal. And if it's a season to pause, plan how you're going to rest and reset. So whether you're pushing or you're pausing, there's something for you to do and there's something for you to be intentional about. And DM me on Instagram, guys, at Dreams and Drive, and tell me what season you're in. I want to cheer you on. I want to know what you're working on. I want to know, like, who else is out there in these different seasons and how can we be of support to each other. So as we wrap up, guys, I want you to remember this one thing. Your dream isn't a race. It's a journey with many hills and valleys. And I want you to learn how to honor this season that you're in and watch how much more at peace you'll feel. And watch also how much more powerful your next season of growth will be. I trust you. I trust that you know what you'll need to do for yourself. But trust me when I say that pausing, resetting, planning for it, recalibrating is so important. It's like going to the gas station. When we're driving cars, we're dream drivers. We cannot drive on empty tanks. And we also need fuel. We need to take and plan for those rest stop visits, those gas station refuels. It's so, so, so important. If this resonated with you guys, please share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to this podcast, even YouTube. Go and, leave a comment. I love reading all the comments on YouTube. And let's just keep driving these dreams together, guys. It's so important. Remember, we're on social media at Dreams and Drive. And if you want to be part of our email newsletter, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join. All right. Keep dreaming, keep driving, and we will chat again in episode 431. Bye, guys.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.